Tonight, we are looking back 10 years ago to the night a neighborhood in Clarence became the scene of one of Western New York's worst tragedies.
And obviously, this is a very, very fluid situation. It's happening right now. There are reports that a small plane has crashed into a house in Clarence Center.
He did confirm that a plane had crashed into a home here in Clarence.
We do know it has been confirmed that it was Flight 3407 from Newark to Buffalo. The home, we're being told from witnesses that live right near there, is completely gone.
It was just unbelievable at the scene as far as these flames.
Yeah, those were just some of the scenes from our 11 o'clock newscast on February 12, 2009. And I was, of course, there that night as we slowly found out just how serious a disaster this plane crash really was.
Well, 10 years later, we can still see the impact in the families missing loved ones, in the flight safety measures passed in their memory, and in the memorials on Long Street and another inside the Clarence Library. 2 on your side's Dave McKinley was there as it was rededicated earlier today.
Our goal was to create something that was both informative, informational, and yet respectful.
The four sides of the memorial kiosk acknowledged the crash, the lives lost, the legislation their loved ones pushed for increased pilot training, and the first responders who raced to the scene. It was planned during meetings held in the library where it now stands.
And I can remember in the beginning sitting at those little tables in the kid department because that was the only place we could go. So I remember we sat there, and that's where some of the discussions started.
Attendees wore red today in remembrance.
I feel that we have dedicated here today a symbol of love and continued celebration of life.
It will be here in another 10 years. It will stand long after they're all gone too.
I want them to remember the people who were lost. I think there's been a lot written in the last 10 years about the legislation safety, and I hope that it's in place and it has the same remarkable results 10 years from today. But I hope they never forget Kevin and Ellie and Mary, Abraham, and all the other victims that were lost that night, and the contribution that we lost that they could have made to this world.
Through those memorials and otherwise, and all the work of this community, we will never forget.
Among those we ran into attending there today, the air traffic controller, whose voice is heard on those tower tapes from that night that so many have listened to since. You will hear more from him tonight at 6. There will be more events held tonight to mark the 10th anniversary of this tragedy.